Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Ronin, and with Ronin Forex, and I want to shoot this quick video about what's going on in the market, what we have going on in the VIP group, and let's get right into it. So I want to cover this trade. If you're in my group that you're in on, you would be in on EURGBP, and so first of all, let's get into it. So it's Thanksgiving week. And right out of the gate, just a ton of movement in the market happened, and it's pretty kind of surprising. But hey, it's Thanksgiving, so really the way it's going to work, since it's the U.S. holidays, everything's going to be jam-packed in between Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then. But who knows? Maybe it could be an extra volatile week. So, but first, let's get into it. Why did the euro break down? So it's important to know your fundamentals to stay up to date with what's going on in the news, so you can catch these moves before they happen. So, and this is exactly what we did, and we're doing still, right? So if you're watching this video, you can know why we took this trade, why we're taking it, and why the euro is so weak all of a sudden. So this is pretty big news. I like to stay up to date on Twitter, right? So they're just tweets all the time going out, and just news constantly. So if you can get a good stream of tweets coming through, you can start to have a good feel for what's happening fundamentally in the market. So big thing that happened Sunday, euro just dropped, and that's due to Merkel's German coalition for government is collapsing, right? Germany is obviously a big player in the European Union, so the fact that her government has kind of fallen out beneath her is huge, right? So it's especially with Britain leaving, that makes Germany one of the key players in the European Union. And then with Brexit happening, and then this government collapsing along with the Spanish government with Catalonia a couple weeks ago. This is a big deal for the euro, especially right after it came out of such a huge rally last week. So this is what happens, it's huge to know your fundamentals. So, if you want to search like Germany, euro, weakness, Forex in Twitter, you can start to get a good feel for a bunch of news. Look, she looks sad, right? So anyways, bunch of stuff happening, and it's not good for Germany. It's not good for the euro. So we got euro weakness right out of the gate. So what are we going to do? And the Ronin Academy, and by the way, like I teach you in my course how to follow fundamentals, how to follow currency strengths, and then how to use them to your advantage. So my technique is a blend of technical analysis and fundamental analysis, right? So very important to have the two, in my opinion. So we can just exit out of that, and now let's just check out our charts. So that's what's happening fundamentally with the euro. So let's look at this technically, see what's going on. Okay, and it's super exciting. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of my technicals here, so we can start fresh. I like to start on the daily chart, right? So, and then zoom daily chart, get the macro view, and then zoom in to get the micro view of what's exactly going on in the market. So we'll take out that Fibonacci. Last but not least, a little drink of coffee here. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon, working late, but always. So, okay, so this is a big deal. 2 to 3 weeks ago, we had a breakdown of this trend line as a daily trend line. And so I like to use fractals because it just helps me to connect the dots straight up. It makes it super easy to find reversals, find what I like to call pressure points and trend lines and support and resistance, which I talk about in my course. Support and resistance is huge. I mean, it's supply and demand, and after all, these are people buying and selling currencies, so that it's all about supply and demand. So first of all, we had this daily trend line and a couple There it is. That was the trend we're going off of. And a couple weeks ago, this got broken, right? So that was a big deal. And this was coming in about right here. They had a big break there. And then Euro just shot up, right, off the back of some European fundamental news. And then we had another bounce in this trend line break, and then it broke back up above, and that's where we've been for a while. So why is that significant? Of course, like I said earlier, Euro is rallying big time, big time, big time, big time. So I was actually short EG, and I have been for a long time. And so when I saw it start to collapse, man, I'm really excited and happy for it, because then I'll be able to close out these positions soon. And so we have our daily trend line here, right? And so on a closer view, if we go into the hourly chart, we can see retest, retest, break, more or less false breakout here, and breaks out back above, break, break, retest, retest, breaks back above, and this is a huge area right here. But the thing is, what was holding it? Find this little zone. I was once price is back above this little trend here, right? So another reason why I don't like these fractals is because I can find these pressure points, and right pressure points in the market, and that's exactly what we had here. If I zoom in or zoom out to the 4 hour, right, we can see prices above here, cut back above, retested this little pressure zone, right, as we can see from our fractals, retest, breaks back above, and then so last night when all that news happened with Germany, I was watching, and it broke this, right? And that's what caught my attention, right? So then I started watching it, and then once it broke this daily trend line, then that was the signal to go in for the kill shot, right? So it's super bearish sign that this is going to be dropping. It's Euro's weak, and we got a lot of Brexit news coming, so that's a little iffy, right, on GBP. Another reason why to stay up to date with fundamentals. But as long as it's nothing too significant, I'm banking on it staying below this daily trend line. We've already taken profit in my VIP group for a good 20-30 pip trade. And the thing is, let's just top it off with some Fibonacci, which I go into in detail how to use Fibonacci in my course. Fibonacci is the king to everything on the planet. Everything is Fibonacci, even if you know it or not. So anyways, here we are, and you can see, so this is what happened. We had a break below this trend line here. Now I can take it one step further, just looking at this. We have another trend line, right? So this is just complete breakdown of every protection that EG had against any sellers. And a lot of times I tend to be a seller. I don't know why, but I'm very bear in the marketplace. Big bear, for sure. So we have this intersection here. Looks like a bit of a star, right? So, but it's just X marks the spot, right? So we have a break on this hourly. Now I can zoom out on the hourly. So we have this hourly trend. And then it breaks down again, right? And just to top it all off, where is that breaking? At the 38.2 retracement mark, which is a huge mark in the Fibonacci ratio, Fibonacci retracement. And so all signs are pointing to this is a big bearish reversal. And I'm super stoked we caught this in our group. And you know, I'm gonna ride this thing for the next 100 pips down. So just to show you too, it couldn't be a better setup. because look, it's above these trend lines, above these broken trend lines, which act as, which were once support, now they're resistance. In other words, it's a shield, right? And I teach this how to protect yourself from losing your capital by setting your stop loss to break even. Is definitely one of the ways, but also by setting your stops above these resistance zones. And so our stop loss here is 30 pips above our entry, which gives us a good risk to reward ratio if we're going for say 100, 120 pips if you let it run that far. But this is going to be a good drop, and if you want to go ahead and take your profit here or at the 23.6, good 40, 50, 60 pips, and then catch it as it retraces back up, because there's a good chance this could drop and retest this trend line. And if it does, that'll be a great re-entry, and you can just keep pounding this thing, right, until it really drops and falls. So you can see here, set my Fibonacci a little bit lower on this support zone. Support, we can think of support as a floor, which is right where we have our 100 pip take profit. And just to top it all off, just to show you guys what I'm kind of looking at. Might get a bounce back up, but overall this is just a great sign of a bearish reversal. I think it's going to keep dropping for the rest of the week, depending on what happens with Brexit. So definitely stay up to date with the news. It's a big thing. And if you're in my group, I'm in there all the time. I'm dropping news articles, and I'm always there to talk about fundamentals, because technical analysis is one thing, but it's governments and banks that move the market, minus like 5 or 6 key players, right? So staying up to date with that is going to give you the edge you need, 100%. And just to top it off too, if we go back out to the daily chart, where our take profit is right at the 200-day or 200 daily moving average. So that would be a great place to set your long-term take profit targets. So all this stuff, the trend lines, the breaks, the fundamentals, Fibonacci, I teach in my course, and I'm there all day long, pretty much, minus about 6 hours sleeping whenever I get that in, to help you guys learn this stuff. So also, I just want to point out one more time, the more I look at this setup, the more stuff is just popping out at me. But let's see. We can see how, if we just go down to RSI here, you can see this little trend going up, but what's the RSI telling us? It's a major divergence, right? If you know divergence, if you know how to spot it, I mean, you're good about 60, 70, 100% of the time eventually, right? And then if you can find out how to follow trends, how to predict reversals, and how to use Fibonacci, well, that's it. That's quite the edge on the market. So that's all I got, man. I hope that makes sense. I hope that gives you a little insight why we took these trades in our VIP group. It's going to be a great week. This is going to pay off big, I think. We're also in some great shorts of GJ and UJ. It's going to be a great week. So hope to see you in my group. If you like this video, if you learned something, please subscribe, like at the bottom, comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I get a chance. My name is Ronin, and we have an amazing group of traders. We're actually doing it legit. There's too many people, too much shady stuff in Forex right now. So we're trying to switch up the game a little bit. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you in my group. And it's Thanksgiving week, so don't just count your pips, count your blessings. I love that, man. All right, peace.